What is up, Lightweights Podcast? We have hit 15,000 subscribers. What a milestone it's been. I want to thank you guys so much for supporting this channel. We've gone through a lot the past couple months. We've lost some people. We've gained no one else yet. We're looking for a co-host. But as of now, it's just me. I'm Joe. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Give this video a like. And I wanted to do a fun one-on-one solo podcast by myself to give you guys a little breakdown of what's new in my life, what's been going on, the podcast for where it's going, and it's a little celebration. We hit 15,000 subscribers. That's big. Very cool. I want to grow this podcast to be the biggest podcast in LA. I want to be the male call her daddy. I want to get the greatest guests. I want to get all the greats in Hollywood to come on my podcast, to promote their shows, to drop their new albums. And that is with the help of you guys. So thank you so much for giving this a listen. Thanks for supporting me over the years. And let's dive right into the first solo pod of Joe. Over the past 5 months, I've gone on a big fitness journey. I've lost 22 pounds. I've transformed my body from 25% body fat down to 15%. And that's been a lot of topic. A lot of people have been asking how I've been doing it. So I wanted to go into that, kind of break it in. My mentality, what I shifted in my diet, and where it was going. A lot of people have reached out to me saying how they're stuck and they needed a little bit more motivation. So hopefully you can take something away from this. Also, if this podcast does well, we'll do another one when we hit 30,000 subscribers. So as the podcast channel grows, we'll keep doing these solo pods, breakdowns of what's going on, Q&As. I reached out to people on Instagram. A lot of people left questions. We're going to dive into that later. Also, if we should do a P.O. box, that might be fun. You guys can send stuff in. We could open it up on the video. Don't send a glitter bomb. As far as the fitness stuff, my main goal was to be 1% better every day. I wasn't trying to do a massive accomplishment. It doesn't just happen overnight. I knew that if I can take it baby steps at a time, eventually it'll snowball into something bigger. And I was able to make a huge shift in my life. Obviously, if you've seen my videos, you know I was getting cake sent to my house every single day. I was eating at a different restaurant every single day. I'm getting 5 different items from the burger place and a Mexican food place, and I'm just eating nonstop. And I kind of reached the point to where I needed a change because I felt like I could do better. And I knew that if I shifted up the content a little, space out the food videos, I'd be able to hit the goals that I wanted. And that's what I knew that the path that I was on wasn't going to work for me anymore. So I had to switch up my videos in order to get to that success. Anytime I do anything, I try and have a goal in mind so that way I know where I'm headed. Arnold Schwarzenegger said it best. You can have the best pilot in the world, you could have the best plane in the world, but if you don't know where you're going, you're just drifting around. I wanted to lose 10% body fat. Why? It sounded like a good number. It was something that would translate easy to an audience because obviously internet is my job and I needed something that worked within what I was doing. So if I can say I lost 10% body fat, that was a very translatable thing for people. As far as finding the motivation, I was very unhappy with the way I looked in the mirror. I felt like I could do better. I felt like I was cheating myself. I'm 33 now. I'm getting older. At what point in your life are you going to find that change and make those adjustments? And I felt like now is the perfect time. I'm getting married. I'm getting older. I could do it. Why was I letting every day just go by not doing the best that I could? I felt like I was cheating myself. So that's why, that's really why. I also had to find a purpose. I had to find the pride within myself to do it. It's the first impression. If I wanted to still do these food videos, this is my example just to me, obviously, because that's who I was working for. For me, if I could do these food videos and be fit and jacked and look impressive, I felt like I had the world on my side. Who wouldn't want to root for that guy? So in my head, I became the star of the movie. I became the star of the show. And that was the hero moment. If I could do that, people would support me. People would want me to go as far as I could. And I built up that snowball effect for support. And people cheered me on. And I was able to have my friend Ilya, who has a fitness company, he was able to help me achieve that goal. For months, he would tell me to join boxing class. I was like, fuck no, not my style. I'm not violent. I don't want to do that. But I told myself to just give in. I tried it. I fell in love with it. It was an insane form of cardio. And now I love it. I still go to it. The other thing that crosses your mind is, what about failure? What if you don't do it? I failed 3 times in figuring out what worked for my body before I finally found the results that I needed. I think I started the fitness thing back in December, and I didn't figure out what really worked for me up until March. And it was just every day I was just watching YouTube videos. I was listening to podcasts. I was figuring out different techniques and things that were working for other people and how I could apply them for myself. And that was really what helped me level up my knowledge of what I was eating, what were the best foods for me, what can digest easily, when am I going to be eating, when am I going to be working out. I figured out my body and I figured out my routine and what I would be able to do on that larger scale. Again, it took me 33 years to figure out what worked for me, and I'm still learning. And I'm not by any means a master. I just figured out what worked for me for the past 5 months. And this past month, actually, I didn't have the best scan. I didn't have the best results. So now I have to go back and dial it in again and see what did I change and what do I need to fix. It's all trial and error. And for people who keep saying they don't know what to do, you just got to keep trying. And eventually something will give. Another big shift was when I was going to sleep and when I was waking up. I would go to sleep at midnight, 1, 2. I didn't really have a routine because that was just my lifestyle. I could do whatever I want, whenever I wanted. Once I really started holding myself accountable to go to sleep at 10 o'clock, I go to sleep at 10 o'clock every night, sometimes 9:45, 10:15. In that half-hour span, now I wake up at 6. I get ahead of the competition. I get there before everyone else gets to the gym, and I'm able to work out there longer. Some days I even wake up at 5. No one's on the road. It just gives you that boost from within that you feel like you're really pushing yourself and you're really making the most of the day, and you're not burning daylight. You're taking advantage of everything. I think that's really important too, to set yourself up so that you don't have to really have that struggle. The easier you make it on yourself, the faster you'll be able to achieve your results. Let's do a diet breakdown because that was my number one hurdle. That was the biggest thing that I had to overcome. I had Goldbelly sending me cakes every day. I was hitting up every restaurant, every taco stand, and I had no idea how many calories I was eating. I had no idea how much protein I was consuming. I was an open trash can for anything. I go to people's houses, taste test this pizza. I was the food guy. I loved it. I still love it. I still am the food guy. But I was able to take it more into my hands and have a better understanding of how much I'm eating. And I don't want to speak for anybody, but my friend Zane, we almost had a pretty similar situation as far as diet. And it's like, you don't really know what you're consuming until you're looking at the back of the bag. And that right there will save you so much stress when you know really what you're putting in your body. I downloaded an app, My Macros, and I was able to start calculating how many calories I was really consuming. Because even Caitlin was on me. She's saying you're eating way too much protein for the day. And I was. And if you're over consuming the calories, you're going to obviously be packing on the pounds. Your body can only break down so much in a day. So that was a pretty eye-opening thing for me, was to see how much I was really eating. As of now, what I'm doing, I do 1,800 calories a day, and I still track. I track every day because it's the easiest way to really just achieve your goals the fastest way, to be honest. 200 grams of proteins, 160 carbs, 40 grams of fat. Those are my macros. This is what works for me. This is what I'm able to do easily throughout my day. I do that every day. I do 15,000 steps a day, and I'm dropping like a couple % body fat every month. And I'm doing it in a healthy way where I'm not feeling depleted, and it's sustainable. I could do it. Again, that's just worked for me. Let's break this up and go into some fan questions now, because a lot of people suggested stuff online, and they just had overall questions. Leah asked, what's the best exercises for burning calories? I'm so happy for you and Caitlin. Thank you, Leah. For me, boxing, I was able to really get myself into that headspace. It's an insane cardio workout. Arms, abs, the twisting of the body. Every time I finish that workout, I look shredded. I feel so good. It's when I take all my photos of myself. I love boxing so much. It's my favorite. What are my gym PRs? Squat, bench, deadlift. This is a weak spot for me because I don't squat. My feet aren't straight. My right foot angles outward, so it's really hard for me to do a good squat. And I notice that too when I do my running. Behind me, I have 3 half marathon medals, and every time I do a half marathon, I almost feel like I'm twisting my foot out even more and more. So I have to be careful with that. But I don't really do squats. The gym that I work out at, the Zila gym, doesn't have any leg machines, so I don't really do that much. I do some body weight stuff, but not that much. As for bench, I think I did 235 bench press, and I did 100-pound dumbbells. Those are my PRs for that. Thanks for leaving that question, Oliver. What is the mentality shift, if any, that you had in the gym and during the transition? Have you ever seen it steep into other aspects of your life? Of course. I mean, when you take something physical and make it the hardest thing in your day, everything else just feels easy. And if you knock it out the first thing in the morning, you feel accomplished, you feel like you hit your goals, and you're ready to tackle on anything. I have other projects too that are a headache and a nightmare, but it doesn't bother me as much because I already did the most physical thing of the day. And it's like, of course I want to spend an hour and a half in the gym. I'd rather be doing that than anything else because I know what I'm doing. I think it carries over throughout the rest of your day too, to make everything a little bit easier. That was from Seago. Thank you, Seago. S2 Trippy, what gave you the motivation to start your workout journey, and do you have any advice for someone wanting to start? My motivation was just that I thought that I could do better. Also, I had someone who didn't believe that I could do it, and I'm very petty. So if anyone doesn't believe in me, I want to prove them wrong. So that's a pretty good headspace to be in. If you can find something that like pisses you off and kind of uses that motivation, that's a good way to get to where you want to go. The other big motivation too was, again, I felt like I was cheating myself. I'm 33. I've always looked the same. I felt like it was time for me to really have my hero moment and just focus on myself and be the best that I could be. Because when you're looking back on your life in 50 years, do you really want to think that you could have gone harder? No. I love knowing that during like that vlog era when we were making YouTube videos every day, I like knowing that I was giving it 150%. I was doing 3 videos a week. I was helping out 5 different people on their channels. I had a podcast. I was helping other people's podcasts. I gave it my all. I made as much money as I possibly could, and I have no regrets. I love how hard I was able to work during that time, and I love knowing now that I'm giving everything my all for the workouts now, knowing that I'm going to be in the best shape of my life, and I'm going to keep it that way because I educated myself knowing how to maintain it. That question was from S2 Trippy. Thank you for following me on Instagram. Guys, if you want to leave questions too for these videos, follow me on Instagram. And when I make the post, just leave a reply. I pull up everybody. I go through everybody's DMs. Stephanie asks, what's my biggest motivation to make this podcast successful? I want to be able to reach out to anybody and just send a message and say, do you want to come on? And I want them to be excited and know who I am. And I want them to want to launch their product or whatever they're promoting. I think that's the coolest possible thing. And like doing 3 podcasts a week is so maintainable. It's the only thing if this is like my main shtick, you know, I live in LA. Of course I can get 3 guests that I want to talk to a week. That's kind of my goal, just to get people that I want to talk to, because then the conversation is going to be exciting and interesting, and Yeah. Am I ever going to rebrand the pod or stick with the Lightweights name from Travis? Travis, I'm going to keep the Lightweights name. I do need to reshoot the photo, but once I figure out the cover photo for what I want to do, I just need like a cool theme. Nothing's stuck out to me yet. Maybe I'll get some cool photos for my wedding. From Eli, is there a lingering battle on your fitness journey? Wanting sweets, not wanting to work out, finding time. How do you defeat that constantly? Finding time is hands down the hardest thing because things always pop up for work, for other opportunities. But if you just, for me, I put it at the top of my priority list. I make sure that I hit my steps, whether I do them first thing in the morning or last thing at night. Make sure you hit your goals. Because if you don't hit your goals, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. That's really, as far as not wanting sweets, I got it out of my system. I think I went so hard for so long that I kind of stopped craving it. And as far as not wanting to work out, I love working out. It's being in the gym, listening to a podcast, listening to music. One of my favorite things to do because no one can bother you in that hour and a half. I know that for that hour and a half, I'm not leaving. I'm not taking any calls. I'm just in there focused on what I'm doing. Is it harder or easier to do the pod by myself? Doing it completely by myself, it's easier than I thought. And I hope it's going well. I hope you guys are still listening. Having guests, I think, is easier because there's more conversation. You know, when I was doing a podcast with one other person, you kind of had to go out and do stuff to have stuff to talk about. And if nothing happened that week, it was a little hard to pull conversations from because you didn't, like, we talk to each other every day, every week for the past 2.5 years. And that kind of stuff, you know, you only have so many memories that you can remember that are like conversation worthy because you can talk about anything, but is it good enough to share with an audience? You know, you have to try and make it a certain level of entertainment. Diaz, can you give me a call and you'll ask the question live? All right, I'm going to call you. She left her phone number. I'm going to call her and let's see if she answers. Leave your phone numbers. We'll give you a call on air.
Hello?
Hi.
Who's this?
This is Joe from Lightweights.
Oh my goodness, no.
Hi.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even recognize your voice.
Yeah, you said you had a question. What is it?
Oh. Hey, you got me on. I thought this was the doctor's. Okay. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? How's the doctor?
Good. Well, I'm pretty sure they're fine. Okay, I just wanted to ask, what kind of direction are you going to take with the podcast?
Ooh, solid question. I love having the guests. I love doing it 3 days a week, and I want to get as many people as I can. I want like all of Hollywood to be able to want to come on here and promote their book, promote their movie, promote their show. I want to be able to reach out to anybody and for them to want to come on. And just, I don't know, I love a long conversation of like 2 hours, 3 hours. I think that would be the coolest direction to take it to really dive in, to get to know people.
Oh, okay, great. Well, I love the podcast, and I love listening to it every week.
Well, thank you so much for listening. What's your name again?
Thank you. Denise.
Awesome, Denise. Thanks for leaving your number.
Of course.
All
Bye.
right, bye. Should we go back to calling people again? All right, let's get back in. We had a bunch more questions too, as far as my relationship with Caitlin, my fiance, my soon-to-be bride. She supports me on the diet journey 150%. Having somebody there by my side to kind of hold me accountable, make sure that I'm making the right choices. Do I really want that like little ice cream there at night? Do I? Is it worth it? Yes or no? No? Okay, put it away. Yes? Have it. Enjoy it. You have to find that balance, and she is incredible at helping me find the balance. She helps make dinner for me. We make the sacrifices together, you know. We're not going out to dinner every night to different restaurants, being tempted by the bread that they come out. I'm not getting soda. I'm not drinking beer. I'm not drinking alcohol. She's incredible support system, and I love her dearly. So huge shouts to Caitlin. If you guys want her on the pod, leave a comment down below. We'll make it happen. How did my workout routine change? What was I doing before? What was I doing recently that started working? I think the cardio and the diet really were like the biggest factors for me, because I went from I was doing like 5,000 or 6,000 steps a day, and I just started walking. I'm not running. I'm not jogging. I just started walking around the neighborhood, and I upped it to 15,000 steps a day. I think it's 3 miles, 15,000 steps. And I was doing that every day. And you could see, I track it just on my iPhone in the health app. Everyone has it. Open up your health app. It says your steps. And I think that was the biggest change that really helped. Adding the cardio, so you're burning the calories, and then counting my calories, 1,800 calories a day. So I'm at a constant deficit, making me lose the body fat, but still eating enough protein to grow the muscle. Keep that muscle, because your body eats the muscle otherwise if you don't eat enough protein. And there's different debates as far as how much protein you should have throughout the day. I tried to stick to my body weight, if not a little more. That's just what I felt like was working for me. Again, it's all working for you. You got to figure out trial and error. I also had that fortunate opportunity to box twice a week, where I was burning anywhere from 600 to 1,000 calories. So that was a great workout as well. And I lifted every single day. Different body part, muscle group. That was huge. Another thing that I challenged myself with throughout was completing half marathons. And I have my medals up here. And the half marathons are 13.1 miles. Why? I did the first one almost on accident because my friends were doing it. And I was supposed to just be the cameraman. And about 1.5 miles in, I'm running next to him. And I think I can do this. And I wanted to surprise everybody too. I wanted to see the look on Caitlin's face at the end when I'm just running. Because originally I was supposed to get back into the car, drive to the next checkpoint, run with them a little, go back to the car, drive to the next checkpoint. So on the race day, as I'm running with them, I'm holding my camera, and I'm thinking I can keep up with Ilya and Susie. I think I can do this. So at the halfway point, 6 miles in, I knew it was easy because we're just on the countdown then. So I did it, and then I fell in love with it, and I thought I could do it 2 more. I could do it again. So I did 2 more, and on the third time, I beat my time by 30 minutes, which was insane. I ended up with a 2.5-hour run. So that was kind of something I stumbled into. And my motivation for that was just, I saw a funny TikTok. The best thing about doing a marathon is you get to tell people you're doing a marathon, and that's really it. I don't love running. I don't do it for fun. It's just something that I think with the amount of steps I was doing every day, I was able to accomplish it. And a half marathon was just impressive enough to people that are like, you're going to run 13 miles at 6 a.m.? Good for fucking you. And people support that guy. People rally around them. They start to believe in themselves, and they start to challenge themselves more because they see this guy's getting after it. And that was really why I wanted to do it. People love that guy, and I wanted to be that guy. What am I listening to during the workouts? What am I listening to while I'm on a run? In the beginning, I was listening to music. And I noticed that I'd be distracted. I'd be on my phone. I'd be texting. I'd be checking my analytics. I wouldn't be present in the moment. And I'd get distracted by anything. A bird flies into the gym. I'm distracted for 15 minutes trying to film it. You know? Once I put on podcasts, motivational speeches, the people that I listen to are David Goggins, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jocko Willink. Having that steady flow of conversation where they're talking about them pushing themselves and them growing themselves. That's not the right terminology. Them pushing themselves to the absolute limits got me fired up, because why am I stopping at 10 reps in the gym when I can do 15? You know, everything is about being 1% better. And if you do that every day, you're going to accomplish a lot in a month, in 2 months, in 3 months. If you can commit yourself to really doing something hard for 30 days, going to the gym, sticking to that diet, adding in the cardio, if you can do that for that 1 month, you'd be surprised at how easy that second month is going to do. And then the third month. And you're going to be surprised at your results, and people are going to support you, and they're going to cheer you on. And if they're not cheering you on, fuck them and don't have them part of your circle. Don't include them in that conversation. Do what's best for you. It's your life. And if you think that you can do better, try it. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. Let's do a couple more fan questions, and then I feel like we crushed it. I feel like we did it. What do I think my biggest regret in life is? I didn't get LASIK until I was like 30. I wish I got it at 25. LASIK is that eye surgery to where you can see 20/20. I always needed glasses. I saw the entire world blurry. I had to wear them at night. I had to wear them at the movies. And once I got LASIK surgery, I was able to see clearly. I could see the texture in leaves. I could see the clouds outside the window on the airplane. I could see the land. It really just was one less hurdle that I had throughout the day of I need to grab my glasses. I'd always forget them. It wasn't a priority. I didn't like how I looked in them. So once I got that done, I almost felt like I had a whole new lease on life. And that was the coolest feeling. What is my favorite part of the fan base? The impeccable style, their fit bodies, the fact that they're number one in the country, and we all come together someday and we'll take over the world. Guys, we're not a cult. What is the support? I've been growing the lightweights fandom for the past month and a half on TikTok Live. I respond to every comment. I reply to everybody in the DMs, and you guys have made this podcast so much more fun. You guys have made it possible for me to reach out to people. We got somebody from the Savannah Bananas baseball team, the TikTok account with 7 million followers, because you guys told me that they were in town. And I reached out to the person, and we made it happen the next day. I went to the game. It was incredible. You guys make those opportunities happen where I'm able to talk to people, and I have a really good feeling about this. This is the same feeling I had when I first started doing YouTube, and I was able to grow that channel to 700,000 subscribers, and I really feel like we can do something really special with this, and I'm excited to see where it goes in 3 months, in 6 months, in a year, and I am anticipating world domination in 2 years. We will be Call His Daddy. Father Cooper, we're coming for you. So with that being said, my wedding is coming up. Very excited for that. I'm not nervous. I'm not scared. I'm thrilled. I get to marry my best friend. It's actually going to be a movie. I have someone coming to film some vlog footage. I'm going to cut up a video together for it. I like doing it myself. So that'll be cool. Food's going to be insane, obviously. Pasta, pizza. Hopefully you guys keep along on the journey. Leave some love when you see the photos go up. And thank you for listening. Thank you for making this podcast become awesome. Thank you guys for still listening after the massive transition that we had. Lightweights forever. You know, we're still selling the hats. I haven't pushed it, but I still do have some couple white on white hats. Thank you guys again. Give this video a like. Comment down below who else we should reach out to. And lightweights forever. See ya.